as the investigation gets underway, let's bring in two expert law enforcement individuals, retired NYPD Inspector, Fox News contributor Paul Meuro, and retired FBI Special Agent Maureen O'Connell. Paul, we're in Washington, D.C. This is the nation's capital. Everything here is pretty much federal. And I would imagine U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro, former judge and Fox News colleague that we all know well, Kash Patel, and even Mayor Bowser, all are speaking with a single mind tonight in saying they will prosecute this individual to the fullest extent of the law. Tell us what that looks like. Is this a national security crime? Is it an act of terror? What can we expect?
So my strong inclination here is that this will end up being a terrorism charge, and here's why. Generally, federally, you need a foreign designated group to get the federal terrorism charge, Hamas, Hezbollah, something like that, except if it is on federal grounds or if it involves a federal personnel. And in this case, you have both. And that takes you about 3/4 of the way there. All you need now is to ascertain motive. And if you can ascertain from the atmospherics or from statements from the perpetrator that this was done for an ideological purpose, that is to say, to influence the policy of the government or the civilian population of the United States, that closes the loop on the federal terrorism charge. And it would be, again, my strong inclination that that's what they're looking at.
And Maureen, what's your reaction to what Paul said and just the events of the day from your expert mind?
Paul's absolutely correct, and I think they may find a couple more nuggets of information that might push that terrorism charge over the goal line, and that would be maybe in some messaging app that he used or some sort of encrypted app where he was communicating with a bunch of other people. As a 25-year investigator with the FBI and as a 20-year member of the FBI's evidence response team, I can tell you that no one's going to do a better job on this crime scene than the evidence response team. The FBI does an outstanding job. And your journalist spoke earlier about how they're going to have to map this whole thing out 3D. And we've been doing that for a very long time. It's very important to get all these little things right when you're trying to prosecute this person. With regard to the offender, you talked earlier about how brazen this attack was. I think, I mean, it's beyond brazen when you not only shoot with the handgun that you came with, but then you try to remove the long gun from the victim that you just shot and try to, as they say, inflict even further damage to other people that were there. This is just beyond the pale when it comes to an attack on our government, I think.
Maureen, let me stick with you a second. I'm going to ask Paul similarly about the FBI, but from the time you were in the Secret Service to now, do you feel a palpable difference to the way you're treated, the way a lot of the protesters out there are not backing the blue, are vilifying our law enforcement, our Secret Service agents, ICE agents, our Border Patrol, you name it? And we know the president got elected in part because he's the opposite. He's going to respect and resource them tremendously. But are we overplaying this, or is there a real difference to you as somebody who served?
Are you talking to me or Paul? Sorry.
Yes, you, Maureen.
Okay, I was with the FBI, not the Secret
FBI,
Service,
yes.
So my apologies. I do see a difference. The numbers speak for themselves. When you talk about, attacks going up, upwards of 1,000% when it comes to our federal partners, that ICE and Border Patrol and things like that. That's unbelievable. I think another difference, Kellyanne, that might be worth noting is that there doesn't seem to be the support for law enforcement from the powers that be, except for now in the Trump administration. But I mean, when you're living in a blue city and you have a blue mayor, a blue city council, a blue police chief that's appointed by the mayor and the city council and the city manager, you're not going to get the support that I think everyone should. I actually look at law enforcement now, to your point, as being a hostile work environment that no one seems to care that all the laws and the rules and regs are being violated when it comes to law enforcement, the way that they're treated on the streets, the way they're treated in many instances. So I really do see quite a difference.
And Paul, to you, having been in the Secret Service, this seems to be an occupational hazard now for our bravest. to go out and do their jobs trying to protect the rest of us, and yet their lives are truly on the line more than ever. And Paul, when did this become such a partisan issue? When did we lose the Democratic Party, that if they're okay calling law enforcement Nazis and the Gestapo and worse?
Well, just to be clear, I was with NYPD intelligence in a federal task force, but I can speak certainly for from that grounding and the rhetoric that has been so vitriolic seems to have begun, I would argue, with the age of the internet and social media. Everybody seems to be more concerned about how what they say is going to play in the cyber world. Is it going to get you votes? Is it going to speak to the base? And it really has been a race to the bottom. And unfortunately, as Maureen says, it's resulted in very, very tough conditions for law enforcement. It's why we have so many recruitment and retention problems. And we have to remember here who the good guys are. And that's not just law enforcement, but we should be looking to prosecutors and also the judges. You know, these people should get on board with the system that they're supposed to support. But as law enforcement on the street, you're not getting that. And all I could say, as an analogy for the viewers, is imagine you came to work every day, did whatever the work is you do, and then at the end of the day, it is undone by either your supervisors or the system within which you work. It's not a very heartening feeling, and that's why morale, retention, and recruitment is so low.
Paul, Maureen, thank you for your service, and thank you very much for your insights tonight.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.